He's ripping them off. A trembling voice cut through the gleaming showroom of Sterling Motors, where polished cars reflected the Atlanta sunlight. Lucas Sterling, 38 years old, the enigmatic CEO, stood quietly observing, disguised in worn jeans. No one knew he was the owner of this dealership chain. Today, he wasn't here to sell cars but to uncover the truth. When he overheard Maya, a young customer, pleading to preserve her brother's legacy through an old car, and the manager, Victor Kane, callously jacked up the price, Lucas felt his blood boil. Would he stand by or take action? What secret lay behind the salesman's smile? A battle for trust was about to begin. Subscribe to our YouTube channel now to follow these inspiring journeys. Turn on notifications and join us in exploring stories of people, integrity, and the triumph of trust. Every subscription helps us spread meaningful messages. Sterling Motors awaits you. Lucas Sterling stood silently among the gleaming cars at Sterling Motors, the Atlanta sunlight streaming through the showroom's glass, glinting off the baseball cap half his face. Dressed in faded jeans and a light blue button-up shirt, he looked like an ordinary customer, but his sharp eyes missed nothing. As the 38-year-old CEO of this dealership chain, Lucas had built Sterling Motors from a small garage into an automotive icon. But complaints about staff price gouging and shady contracts had raised his suspicions. Today, disguised as a car buyer, he wanted to see the truth, how his employees treated customers when unsupervised. He strolled slowly past a row of sedans, pretending to inspect tires, but his ears caught a trembling voice from the sales desk. "Please, we need that money." Maya, a woman around 30, clutched her father Henry's hand, her eyes red with tears. Across from them stood Victor Kane, 45, the sales manager with slicked back hair and a fake smile. "I've cut the price as low as it goes," Victor said coldly. "Your car's only worth $3,000. Take it or leave it." Maya choked back a sob. "It was my brother's car. He died in a truck accident. We need the money to save our mom." Henry, his voice hoarse, added, "We don't want to sell, but the hospital won't wait." Victor shrugged. "Sentiment doesn't add value. $3,000, no negotiation." Lucas felt his blood surge. This wasn't a transaction, it was blatant exploitation. He edged closer, pretending to examine an SUV near the desk, but kept his ears tuned in. Maya pleaded, "You don't understand. This car is the last thing my brother left us. $3,000 won't cover the hospital bills." Victor cut her off, his tone sharp. "What do you expect me to do? Give you charity? This is business, not a handout." Henry gripped Maya's hand, trying to stay calm. "We're not begging. We just want a fair price." Victor smirked. "Fair? It's an old car with a bad transmission. You're lucky I'm offering $3,000. Lucas couldn't take it anymore. He stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. "Sorry, I couldn't help overhearing. Is that car really so bad it's only worth $3,000? Victor turned, his eyes flashing with irritation. "This is private, sir. I'm handling it." Maya and Henry looked at Lucas, their expressions a mix of hope and confusion. Lucas gave a slight smile. "I'm shopping for a used car. If it's as good as she says, I'd like to see it." Victor frowned but didn't want to lose a potential sale. "Fine, but don't expect a bargain. That car's full of problems." Lucas nodded. "Let me take a look." Out in the lot, Lucas crouched to inspect the weathered sedan. Though used, it was well maintained, with new tires and a clean interior. He turned to Maya. "How much do you want for it?" Maya hesitated. "We were hoping for $7,000 to cover Mom's hospital bills." Lucas nodded, pulling a check from his pocket. "I'll pay $8,000 directly to you." Maya froze. Henry clutched her hand, tears streaming down his face. "Oh my God, are you serious?" Lucas smiled, completely serious. "This car's worth more than he claims." Victor, standing nearby, growled, "You're ruining the market. What kind of business is this?" Lucas turned, his gaze icy. "Ruining the market? Or doing what's right? This car doesn't have a bad transmission, Victor. You lied to lowball them." Maya hugged Henry, whispering, "Thank you. You don't know what this means to us." Lucas handed over the check, his voice gentle. "Take it to your mom. I want this card to keep its true value." But Victor wasn't backing down. He stepped forward, his voice harsh. "Who are you to meddle in my deal? This is my dealership." Lucas removed his baseball cap, revealing his face, his voice low like thunder. "No, Victor. This is my dealership. I'm Lucas Sterling, owner of Sterling Motors." The air seemed to freeze. Victor's jaw dropped, his face ashen. Mr. Sterling?" "The CEO." Lucas nodded. "And I just saw you exploit a customer. Is this how you think Sterling Motors operates?" Victor stammered. I was just following protocol, maximizing profit." Lucas shook his head. "No, you tarnished my reputation. You're fired, effective immediately." Victor trembled, trying to argue. "You can't. I've brought in millions." Lucas stepped closer, his voice cold. "Dirty money won't save you. Get out." Victor backed away, his eyes blazing with anger, then stormed off, slamming the showroom door in a fit of rage. Lucas watched him go, his heart pounding. He turned to Maya and Henry, smiling. "Don't worry, I'll make sure everything's okay." Maya whispered, "You're like an angel." Lucas shook his head. "Just a guy trying to do right." As the pair left, Lucas looked out at the showroom, knowing that firing Victor was only the first step. A bigger secret awaited him, and Sterling Motors was about to face a storm. Lucas Sterling stood in the middle of the Sterling Motors showroom, his sharp eyes scanning each employee after Victor Kane's firing. The air was heavy, the staff's whispers rippling like small waves in the gleaming glass space. Some looked nervous, their gazes dodging his. Others, like Emma, a 25-year-old sales associate, watched Lucas with a mix of curiosity and hope. Still in his simple jeans, Lucas took a deep breath, his voice low but resonant. "I saw how you worked today, and I'm not impressed." Sterling Motors was built on honesty, but what I witnessed was deception, price gouging, and exploiting trust. From now on, things change. Mark, a 50-year-old veteran employee with salt and pepper hair, crossed his arms, his voice skeptical. "Mr. Sterling, that sounds nice, but Victor told us to push prices to hit quotas. If we didn't, we'd lose our jobs. What do you expect from us now?" Lucas met Mark's gaze unflinchingly. "I expect you to do what's right. No hidden fees, no price gouging, no deceiving customers. If anyone thinks that's impossible, the door's right there." The room fell silent, only the hum of the air conditioning audible. Emma timidly raised her hand. "Sir, I agree, but how do we compete with Titan Autos? They always slash prices to steal customers." Lucas smiled, his eyes glinting. "We compete with trust, Emma. That's something Titan will never have." He gathered the team in the meeting room, outlining new policies, transparent pricing, clear contracts, and commissions based on customer satisfaction, not sales volume. Lucas stood before a whiteboard, writing in bold, "Customers come first." Mark shook his head, muttering to a colleague, "Too idealistic. We'll go bankrupt." But Emma, seated up front, took notes eagerly, her eyes bright. "I think customers will love this. They hate being scammed." Lucas nodded at her. "Exactly. And we're going to prove it." Suddenly, a logistics worker, Tommy, 30, burst in, holding an old box of documents. "Mr. Sterling, I found this in the storage room," he said, his voice tense. "Contracts from Victor's time. They don't look right." Lucas opened the box, flipping through the papers, his heart racing. Dozens of contracts listed fake warranty fees, inflated interest rates, and forged customer signatures. "Victor didn't do this alone," Lucas said, his eyes darkening. "Someone here knows about this." No one dared meet his gaze, except Emma, her voice trembling. "I overheard Victor bragging about tricks with Mark, but I was too scared to speak up." Mark's face flushed, and he growled, "Don't pin this on me. Everyone did it." Lucas raised a hand, his voice cold. "Enough. I'm not here to play the blame game, but from now on, anyone hiding the truth has no place here." Lucas ordered a review of every customer scammed in the past year. "We'll call them, apologize, and refund them," he declared. Emma smiled, but Mark shook his head. "Refunds? Titan Autos will laugh in our faces. Lucas responded, his voice unwavering. Let them laugh. We'll be the ones standing tall in the end. That afternoon, Lucas sat in the office, personally calling customers. Mrs. Lawson, he said to an elderly woman, I'm Lucas Sterling, owner of Sterling Motors. We found your contract was charged an extra $2,500 for a fake warranty fee. I'm sorry, and we're refunding you immediately. Mrs. Lawson choked up over the phone. I thought I'd been cheated forever. Thank you. Lucas smiled, but inside, he worried. Would the team follow him? Would customers trust again? As Lucas left the office, Emma rushed up, holding her phone, her face pale. Mr. Sterling, trouble. Titan Autos just posted an ad claiming we're faking kindness to hide losses. Lucas glanced at the screen, seeing bold text, Sterling Motors, emotional scam or real bankruptcy. He clenched his fists, his eyes blazing. They want to play dirty, he said, his voice low. Fine, we'll show them how strong Sterling Motors is. He turned to Emma. Find every negative review about Titan. We're going to expose them. Emma nodded, her eyes determined. I'm on it. Lucas looked out at the showroom, where the lights illuminated the cars. Firing Victor was just the beginning. Now, a bigger battle loomed, not just against Titan Autos, but against the culture of deceit in the industry. He knew the road ahead was tough, but the memory of Maya and Henry's eyes, Emma's trust, and Mrs. Lawson's gratitude fueled his resolve. Sterling Motors wouldn't just be a car dealership, it would be a beacon of trust. Lucas Sterling stood in the small office at Sterling Motors, the afternoon sunlight streaming through the glass, illuminating the stack of fraudulent contracts Tommy had found. Firing Victor Kane had shaken the team, but Lucas knew it was just the tip of the iceberg. These deceptive contracts proved that a toxic culture had taken root in Sterling Motors, and he was determined to eradicate it. However, news of his reform spread quickly, drawing both attention and anger from his biggest rival, Titan Autos, led by Olivia Vance, a 50-year-old, sharp-witted, and ruthless businesswoman. Lucas sensed a storm brewing, but he didn't expect it to hit so fast. That morning, Emma, the 25-year-old sales associate now serving as Lucas's temporary assistant, rushed into the office, her eyes wide with panic. Mr. Sterling, we've got a big problem, she said, handing him her phone. The screen displayed Titan Autos' latest ad, cheapest prices in Atlanta, no drama like Sterling Motors. Accompanying it was a social media post implying Sterling Motors was faking its refund campaign to hide losses. Lucas clenched his fists, his voice low. Olivia's playing dirty. She thinks she can take us down like this. Emma, worried, said, customers are starting to waver, sir. A couple just canceled their contract because Titan slashed $2,000 off every car. Lucas nodded, his gaze icy. They want a price war? We'll beat them with the truth. Lucas gathered the team in the bustling showroom. Titan Autos is trying to steal our customers with cheap prices, he said, his voice ringing out. But we don't cut corners to trick people. We're going to show customers what Titan's hiding. He turned to Emma. Find every negative review about Titan. We need evidence. Emma nodded. I'm already on it. They've got hundreds of complaints, hidden fees, fake interest rates, even pressuring customers to sign contracts without reading. Mark, the veteran employee, interjected, his tone skeptical. You think customers care? They just want low prices. Lucas locked eyes with Mark. They'll care when they know the truth. Are you in or out, Mark? Mark fell silent, stepping back, but his eyes remained doubtful. While Emma dug into the data, Lucas continued calling customers misled by Victor. Mr. Reynolds, he said to a middle-aged customer, I'm Lucas Sterling. Your contract was charged an extra $3,000 for a fake warranty fee. We'll refund you and apologize. Reynolds was stunned. I thought that money was gone forever. Are you for real? Lucas smiled. Absolutely. Sterling Motors doesn't scam its customers. The call ended, but Lucas received a text from an unknown number. Sterling, you're digging your own grave. Stop or I'll destroy you. He stared at the number, unsurprised to recognize it as Olivia Vance's. Lucas called Olivia immediately. "Threatening me, Olivia?" he asked, his voice cold. She laughed mockingly over the phone. "Not a threat, Lucas. Advice. You think refunds and playing good guy will save your dealership? You're killing yourself, and I'll speed it up." Lucas responded, his voice steady. "You want to play dirty? Go ahead. But I'll show all of Atlanta what Titan Autos really is." Olivia scoffed. "Try it. You'll regret it." The call ended, but Lucas felt adrenaline surging. This was no longer just a business battle, it had become personal. Suddenly, Tommy, the logistics worker, burst in, holding a USB drive. "Mr. Sterling, I found this in Victor's desk," he said, his voice tense. Internal emails between Victor and someone at Titan Autos. Lucas plugged the USB into his computer, his heart pounding. The emails revealed that Victor had been secretly working for Olivia, feeding her customer data from Sterling Motors to help Titan steal contracts. One email from Olivia read, "Keep pushing prices, Victor. When Sterling falls, you'll have a seat at Titan." Lucas clenched his fists. Victor didn't just scam customers. He betrayed us. Emma, standing nearby, whispered, "What do we do now?" Lucas looked at her, his eyes blazing. "We go public. But first, we need more evidence." Lucas ordered Emma and Tommy to contact customers who had dealt with Titan Autos. A young woman, Sarah, arrived at the showroom with a Titan contract, her voice trembling. "They said I got a great deal, but it turns out the interest rate was jacked up to 15%. I can't afford it." Lucas reviewed her paperwork, shaking his head. "They scammed you. We'll help you renegotiate with the bank." Sarah hugged Emma, sobbing, "Thank you. I thought I'd lost everything." Lucas watched the scene, his resolve strengthening. He knew Olivia wouldn't stop, but neither would Sterling Motors. The battle was just beginning, and Lucas was ready to fight to the end to protect his reputation and his customers' trust. Lucas Sterling stood in the dimly lit office of Sterling Motors, the faint glow of the lamp illuminating the stack of fraudulent contracts and the USB Tommy had found, exposing Victor Kane's betrayal and his secret ties to Titan Autos. Emails between Victor and Olivia Vance, the head of Titan Autos, revealed a scheme to steal customers and sabotage Sterling Motors through price gouging and spreading rumors. But Lucas knew this evidence wasn't enough to take down Olivia, a cunning rival with a powerful media network. Outside, the showroom buzzed with activity, but the air was taut as a bowstring. Lucas's refund campaign had drawn hundreds of customers, but Titan Autos was hitting back hard, shaking the trust of many. Emma, his 25-year-old temporary assistant, burst in, clutching a tablet, her voice anxious. "Mr. Sterling, Titan just posted a new article calling us emotional scammers. They say our refunds are a cover for losses." Lucas glanced at the screen, seeing the headline, "Sterling Motors, Act of Charity or Bankruptcy Ploy." He clenched his fists, his voice low. "Olivia's getting desperate. She knows we're winning trust." Emma bit her lip, but customers are starting to waver. A group just canceled their contract because Titan slashed $2,500 off every car. Lucas nodded, his gaze icy. "They want to play the cheap price game. We'll beat them with the truth." Lucas gathered the team in a packed meeting room. "Titan Autos is spreading lies to bring us down," he said, his voice ringing out. "They cut prices, they slander us, but it's all a facade. We need evidence to expose Olivia." He turned to Tommy. "Contact customers scammed by Titan. Invite them here and we'll analyze their contracts for free." Tommy nodded. "I've got a list of over 200 people complaining about hidden fees, fake interest rates, even being pressured to sign contracts without reading." Mark, the veteran employee, interrupted, his tone skeptical. "Mr. Sterling, I know you want to do right, but this is too risky. If Titan wins the PR battle, we're done." Lucas locked eyes with Mark, his voice firm. "They only win if we're scared. Are you with me or not?" Mark fell silent, his eyes wavering, but he didn't argue. Meanwhile, at Titan Autos headquarters, Olivia Vance sat in her sleek office, her gaze cold. Before her were her PR team and a trusted reporter, Carl Reed. "Sterling's disrupting the market," Olivia said sharply. "Refunds, transparency, He's playing saint, but I'll make him look like a fraud. Carl nodded. I can push a big article accusing Sterling of faking it. But we need proof. Olivia flashed a wicked smile, pulling another USB from her drawer. This is Sterling's internal data, sent by Victor before he was fired. It shows they scammed customers with hidden fees. We'll say Sterling's refunds are just a PR stunt. An assistant hesitated. But what if Sterling has evidence against us? Olivia smirked. They're not fast enough. I'll hold a press conference first, with major media. Lucas won't have time to react. Back at Sterling Motors, Emma and Tommy worked tirelessly, contacting customers misled by Titan. A woman, Sarah, arrived at the showroom, clutching a contract, her voice trembling. Titan charged me $4,000 for a fake warranty fee. I can't afford it, and they threatened to sue. Lucas reviewed her paperwork, shaking his head. They scammed you. We'll help you get your money back. Sarah hugged Emma, whispering, "Thank you. I thought I'd lost everything." But Emma, worried, said, "Mr. Sterling, Titan's about to hold a press conference. They'll attack us first." Lucas nodded. "I know. We'll hold our own press conference right after. But we need stronger evidence." Lucas opened Victor's USB, finding a deleted email, now just a fragment of code. He turned to Tommy. "Find someone to decrypt this. I suspect Olivia's hiding something even dirtier." Tommy nodded, reaching out to an old hacker friend. While waiting, Lucas called another customer, Jamal, who'd been hit with an 18% interest rate by Titan. "We'll negotiate with the bank for you," Lucas promised. Jamal shook his hand. "You're the only one helping me. Titan just threatens." Lucas smiled, but inside, he worried Olivia was one step ahead. That night, Lucas received a text from an unknown number. "Sterling, back off, or I'll ruin you before all of Atlanta." He recognized it as Olivia. He texted back, "Try it. The truth will win." Olivia, reading the message, slammed her desk, turning to Carl. "Prep the press conference for tomorrow morning. I want Lucas begging for mercy in public." At Sterling Motors, Lucas held an emergency meeting with Emma and Tommy. "Olivia will strike first," he said, "but we'll hit back harder. Prep everything, contracts, customers, the USB. This is our last chance to expose Titan." Emma nodded, her eyes resolute. "We'll make it happen." Lucas looked out at the showroom, the car lights glinting. A media storm was coming, and he was ready to face it. Lucas Sterling stood before the Sterling Motors showroom, Atlanta's bright sunlight casting a glow on the crowd of reporters, customers, and employees gathered around the makeshift stage. Today was the decisive press conference, just hours after Olivia Vance of Titan Autos launched her attack. In her morning press conference, Olivia, with a razor-sharp smile, accused Sterling Motors of emotional scamming and teetering on bankruptcy. She held up a USB, claiming it contained proof that Sterling had deceived customers with hidden fees, only offering refunds to polish their image. The media erupted, social media exploded, and some Sterling customers began to waver. Lucas knew this was a make-or-break moment. He had to expose Olivia, or Sterling Motors would collapse. Lucas stepped onto the stage, his gaze steady, his voice resounding. "I'm Lucas Sterling, owner of Sterling Motors. Olivia Vance calls us scammers. I'm here to tell the truth." The crowd fell silent, cameras trained on him. Lucas held up the USB Tommy had found, containing emails between Victor Kane and Olivia. "This is proof that Titan Autos hired Victor, our former manager, to steal customers and sabotage Sterling Motors. They gouged prices, added hidden fees, and deceived customers with fake interest rates." He invited Sarah, a customer scammed by Titan, onto the stage. Sarah, her voice trembling, shared, "Titan charged me $5,000 in fake fees. Sterling Motors helped me get my money back, no cost." The crowd applauded, but a reporter, Carl Reed, Olivia's ally, stood up, his tone sharp. "Mr. Sterling, Olivia has proof you scam customers. Her USB shows fake contracts from Sterling Motors. How do you explain that?" Lucas froze, his heart pounding. Olivia had landed a dangerous blow. The USB she had, provided by Victor, contained real contracts from Sterling's past under Victor's management. Though Lucas had reformed the dealership, those contracts existed, and the public didn't know he wasn't behind them. He took a deep breath, his voice calm. If Olivia's telling the truth, let her release that USB right now. I'm ready to face it. Carl smirked. Ms. Vance sent it to us. Here's Mrs. Carter's contract, charged $3,000 in hidden fees by Sterling last year. The crowd murmured, some customers whispering nervously. Emma, standing beside Lucas, whispered, Mr. Sterling, we don't have evidence to counter this yet. Lucas clenched his fists, feeling the ground shift beneath him. Olivia, watching live on TV, smiled triumphantly. Just then, a voice rang out from the crowd. I can explain. Everyone turned to see a middle-aged man with salt and pepper hair stepping forward. It was Greg, a former Sterling Motors accountant who'd quit after Victor's firing. Greg held up a hard drive, his voice steady. I kept a backup of the accounting system from Victor's time. Those fake contracts were orchestrated by Victor and Olivia Vance to frame Mr. Sterling. The crowd gasped, cameras swinging to Greg. Lucas, stunned but quick to recover, said, Greg, go on. Greg nodded. Olivia paid Victor to insert hidden fees into contracts, then kept records as a weapon. I left Sterling because I couldn't stand Victor, but I held onto the evidence, knowing this day would come. He handed the hard drive to a neutral reporter, saying, check it. It has the original emails between Olivia and Victor, plus logs of contract alterations. Carl Reed, panicking, tried to interrupt. This is fabricated. Greg could be lying, but the crowd wasn't listening to him anymore. The reporter accessed the hard drive, and the big screen displayed an email from Olivia. Victor, keep the fake contracts safe. When the time comes, we'll use them to take Sterling down. The crowd erupted, boos ringing out against Titan Autos. Lucas, his eyes blazing, spoke loudly. This is the truth about Titan Autos. They scammed customers, slandered us, but Sterling Motors chooses trust. Customers clapped enthusiastically, reporters capturing every second. Olivia, watching on TV, slammed her desk, her face ashen. Impossible. Lucas invited more customers scammed by Titan onto the stage. Jamal, his voice shaking, said, Titan jacked my interest rate to 18%. Sterling helped me renegotiate, saving my family. The applause grew louder. Carl Reed slunk back, knowing he'd lost. Greg, standing beside Lucas, whispered, I'm sorry I didn't speak up sooner. I was scared of Olivia. Lucas clapped his shoulder. Thank you for your courage. As the press conference ended, social media flooded with posts supporting Sterling Motors. Titan Autos reeled, customers demanded refunds, and the media turned on Olivia. Lucas looked at his team, Emma, Tommy, and even Mark, now smiling, knowing they just changed the game. A year had passed since the fateful press conference at Sterling Motors, where Lucas Sterling exposed Olivia Vance's scheme and Titan Autos' deceit. Atlanta's sunlight still shone brightly on the showroom, but the atmosphere now brimmed with trust and hope. Sterling Motors didn't just survive the media storm, it became a beacon of honesty in the car industry. Revenue soared, customers flocked in, and the staff, from Emma, Tommy, to Mark, worked with newfound pride. Lucas, now 39, stood at the showroom entrance, watching customers come and go, feeling a peace he once thought was lost forever. After the press conference, Titan Autos collapsed swiftly. The emails and accounting logs from Greg, Sterling's former accountant, were made public, infuriating Titan's customers. They stormed in demanding refunds, and the media relentlessly uncovered Olivia's scams. Within 2 months, Titan Autos shuttered 3 major branches, and Olivia fled Atlanta, her reputation in tatters. Lucas took no pleasure in it. He knew this victory wasn't about crushing a rival, but because Sterling Motors chose the right path, prioritizing trust over profit. Inside the showroom, Emma, now the 26-year-old sales manager, coordinated the team with confidence. Mr. Sterling, we just signed a contract with a school to supply buses, she reported, her eyes sparkling. Lucas smiled. Great work, Emma. You're making miracles happen. Tommy, promoted to logistics supervisor, walked in, holding a tablet. Today's customers can't stop praising us. One even called you Atlanta's superhero. Lucas laughed. I'm just a car dealer, Tommy. But thanks. Mark, who once doubted Lucas, had change. He approached, his voice sincere. Mr. Sterling, I was wrong to think we couldn't win this way. Thanks for giving me a chance. Lucas clapped his shoulder. We changed together, Mark. That's what matters. Lucas didn't stop at reforming Sterling Motors. He launched a charity fund, Sterling Legacy, to support families struggling with medical costs, inspired by Maya and Henry's story. The fund helped dozens, including Maya's mother, who recovered after surgery. One afternoon, Maya and Henry surprised Lucas at the showroom with a gift. Maya, tears in her eyes, handed him a framed photo, her brother's sedan, restored by Lucas and displayed at a classic car show. Attached was a card. Thank you for keeping my brother's legacy alive. You're our family. Lucas hugged Maya, his voice hoarse. Thank you both for trusting me. Henry shook his hand. You made him proud, Lucas. Sterling Motors expanded. Lucas and Emma opened a second branch in suburban Atlanta, near the hospital where Maya's mother was treated. This branch specialized in affordable cars for struggling families, offering no-interest payment plans. This isn't just business, Lucas told the team at the grand opening. It's how we give back to the community. Customers at the new branch often shared Lucas's story, turning Sterling Motors into a symbol of compassion. One evening, the main showroom hosted a celebration marking the one-year anniversary of the turnaround. Lucas stood, clinking a wine glass to draw attention. Thank you all for being here, he said, his voice warm. Sterling Motors was once on the brink, but because of you, Emma, Tommy, Mark, and customers like Maya and Henry, we built a legacy. Today, I want to honor the people who changed everything, all of you. The crowd cheered, Emma blushed, and Maya and Henry whistled. Lucas raised his glass, to trust, to Atlanta. The clink of glasses echoed, laughter filling the showroom. As night fell, Lucas sat alone in his office, gazing at Maya's framed photo on his desk. He reflected on the journey, from doubt and confrontation to forgiveness and reunion. The lesson was simple but profound. Honesty and accountability don't just save businesses, they connect people. Lucas texted Emma, "Thank you for believing in me. Sterling Motors is our home." Emma replied instantly, "Thank you for leading the way. We're family." Lucas stood, turned off the light, and stepped outside. The moonlight bathed Sterling Motors, now more than a dealership, a flame of trust and hope. He smiled, knowing that with his team and community by his side, the future would always shine bright. What did you think of Lucas and Sterling Motors' journey, from confrontation to the triumph of trust? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, share this story with someone special, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications to catch more inspiring stories. See you in the next thrilling and meaningful journey.